It is the penultimate Friday towards the King's Plate as we welcome you to Woodbine. Jeff and Elisa with you as we look forward to the King's Plate. We're going to have some King Plate news coming up for you a little bit later on in terms of workers yesterday, this morning, as our look ahead to the field continues to get ever so clear, Elisa. You and I were just talking about our selections. We think we've got our picks. We think we know where we're going to go. Hypothetically, say that there's 14. Would you be worried about the draw at all, or not too worried when I'm on a quarter? Like, say Gangster gets the rail.
Oh, that's not exactly where I'd want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, like a good horse will overcome anything.
Yep.
What I am actually excited that we're showing you finally are workouts of horses, because when you see some of these workouts now, I think it'll make the picture a little clearer because they're working against really good horses.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think you're going to see some horses that, you know, the light bulb's going to go off when you watch some of these works for you as to horses that you'll want to put in your top 5. But we don't know so much about the American horses, you know, and how they've been working.
Right.
We did see the one work for Tom's Magic, but so far just local ones that we're able to bring you. I think you got to throw a few Americans, though, into the mix.
So coming up a little bit later on, we'll look at Ashley's Archer's work from yesterday, No Time's work from this morning. Tomorrow we'll look at Scorching and William T's works as well. So kudos to the crew for bringing us those final preps as we get ever so closer towards the King's Plate. Now, for the first time ever, you have your outfit picked before me. I have no idea what I'm going to wear.
Oh, I thought we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
No, I'm really good at this.
I don't know what I'm going to. I was thinking about that today. I was like, I don't know what suit I'm going to wear. Like, I have like 1,000 suits.
I told you I'm wearing fuchsia.
I know.
So
blue
would go nice. Gray would go nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Just don't wear the pink jacket tomorrow. Next week.
No.
Clash.
That's put away. That's the party jacket. That's for after the plates.
All right. Where we'll be going to bed at about 8 o'clock.
Exactly. Now, yesterday here at Woodbine, we had a very neutral racing surface when it came to the main track. We had, in fact, the last 2 races on the program came to horses coming from way off the pace. Empty Jester and Might Be Trouble came from way off the pace to have some success.
There was another horse in that last race yesterday I put a star beside because that thing came flying to finish in the 4th place spot. Just can't quite.
After a bad start.
Yeah, that's right.
After
the bad start. Yeah, so that one goes on my watch list. But yesterday was an interesting day. I mean, we had Quandale winning for Ray Raganoff. You know, he has his legal name in the program, but everybody around here will remember him as Ray Raganoff, who used to race ride and, of course, has taken out his trainer's license and got his first career victory at Woodbine. So congratulations to Ray. And also we saw some long prices. Like, for example, Zelko's horse, Matoli Power. That was a horse that paid big bucks. And then, of course, the one that I'm kicking myself for today, and that's Forrester's Exact. I should have been all over that one.
Yeah, good price on that one, too.
Yeah.
6 to 1. Robert's got a photo he wants to pass along to us. Yeah.
Is it his outfit?
Forrester's Exec.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, that's what Mike was saying in her ear.
Yeah,
Robert's photo was with Forrester's Exec. That was one, Mike, that the horse was sitting down in the...
Having a nap.
Having a nap, right? Yeah.
Conserving his energy.
That's true.
For the race.
Now, I just thought of something. I don't know why this came into my head for whatever reason. So you're Elisa. Do you have, like do your parents call you Lisa? Like, do they ever shorten it? Or Elise? Or do they ever...
Yeah. Like, so in my household, I'm called Lee.
Lee?
You know,
really?
But my good friends will call me Elise. I do prefer Elise, but certainly I'm Lee in the homestead.
Because I have about 4 friends that call me Jeffrey. And everybody else calls me Jeff.
And I'm the only one that calls you Jeffy.
Yes. Well, no. See. Jeffy, I only allow people very close to me to call me Jeffy. Like, if a stranger calls me Jeffy, I'm like, no, you don't know me well enough to call me that.
Well, I was Auntie Lily for quite some time,
that's
too.
True, too. Okay. What about when it comes to, like, time constraints? Are you
time constraints?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, like if there's a clock that goes on the show.
Oh, well, you just said yesterday I like to chat.
Well, you have 2:30 to talk about our first subject in here, and this is blocked. Okay. So I get the feeling you want to talk about a bit of a trouble trip in this spot, and not about like a football play or
like some other type of blocking that might be happening.
Yes, exactly.
I want to show you the trip from Guildsman last start out, and this is the first start back, Jeffy, after taking some time away from the races. This horse hadn't raced since December the 3rd of 2023. And even then, he was a solid horse in the starters for 5. And he came back in the starters for 5 back on July the 25th. And it was his regular rider from, back in his good old days, Sahin Savachi, who was doing the riding. And, he's at the back of the bus here. I don't know if you and I thought he was ready to go at first asking, or if he might have needed one. We know that this barn loves to work the horses. And this guy's getting a little older. I mean, he hadn't raced since he was 6. He's coming back as an 8-year-old. And you're going to see here in the stretch, like, that he gets himself, into a position where it looks like there's a hole right here, and then watch the one horse come out. So, that changes for him. And then you think, well, here's the rail, but, it might be a very small, tight spot. So then he moves to the outside of the racetrack. It's just a beautiful move. So he's known for doing this kind of stuff for me. I've seen some cool trips from him doing that. And once he gets a clear path, he's good. So, today they offer him up for the $15,000 price tag. I actually didn't use him in the top spot. I used He Shoots, He Wins. And I just wanted to show that replay to show you a horse who got into a little bit of a jam there and raced well for his comeback. But He Shoots, He Wins. I'm surprised that Dominic Pozzanelli finally put him in this spot, because he's eligible for this after being claimed for $7,000, and they've raced him in tough races, like the optional 40s, the 52 other than, the optional 32, he comes out of that. He's raced against some monster racehorses, and now here today, he's eligible for the starter. So, like, maybe they should have been here all along, and if they win this spot here today, they better stick around, because there's some money to be made here.
The reason why I want to pick against Giltzman, too, is I don't know if Relie's a 5-furlong horse.
Yep. Well, it looks like he needed some time there.
And you got Bull Reeled, who's very, very fast. Might be able to get to the front. This is actually a split of race 7, too. So you got the same type of horses in both those races. But you and I both in the same direction with He Shoots, He Wins. I think Campos... I think it's got a bit of swagger on the racetrack right now.
It's like we were saying, there's riders who've been hot lately. Munger, We see Daisuke Fukumoto win a couple of races every week quietly and doesn't really go, with all this pomp and pageantry. But it's the same thing for Jose. Like, he's not necessarily in a purple patch, but he's certainly doing quite well right now.
Doing well. Now, if you're second best, are you the first loser or are you second best?
Well, in my world, I always call that the reserve. I'm the reserve champion.
All right.
When you're second best.
So drum roll, please. Now, not only is this an interesting horse, but look what the horse ran against last time. That's the Seeley horse.
Yeah.
On Captured Moment, who came back to win for an optional 15.
Yeah, and it's been a really nice horse from that little outfit. So, do you put drum roll, please, up on top here today for Kevin Attard? Barn's been a little quiet, but things go in ebbs and flows in horse racing, and this horse was last seen July the 11th. Now here's this 15 non-3, and what you're going to see here is interesting. So watch the 2. Pietro is riding this horse. Like, he is scrubbing on this horse and getting into the whip here already coming into the turn. Like, so to me, what's that telling us? He's a lazy horse. So you really have to ride him, and you'll see here when Pietro really gets into him, and he's a big horse too, but when he really gets into him, works on him, he ends up finishing in the second place spot. But I get this feeling that he might be kind of lazy, so we'll have to see what he does here today, because on the front end, he could be a horse who's waiting for others to come, right, and get lazy there, but you don't want to be too far away from a pace setter in this race either. So, I used that one, the 7, then I used the 3, Can't Jump. Can't Jump, it comes out of the same race as drumroll please, was a 3rd place finisher under Fraser Abley, and Fraser's going to ride this one here again today. Cabernet on the drop in for $15,000, but retaining the services of Rafael Hernandez is a bit of a positive with that one. But yeah, I mean, the other horse that I would have used is the 4, and he's a scratch.
Yeah, Shamateur. A lot of quick comebacks here. Snooker coming back on 7 days rest. Same with Colonel Mustard. Colonel Mustard ran a weird race last time. The horse was so far out of it.
I know.
And then kind of flew. Now, the break didn't help, obviously.
No.
And then was 9 wide on the turn. But
yeah, I threw him in for 4th just because he came flying.
I don't blame you there. I never guessed right with that barn, though.
No, me neither.
Never. More in charge, likes to do things on the front end as well. You got Can't Jump. It's for a small field, it's not all that easy of a race. I know the Drum Roll Please is a low price, but I mean, obviously he's got back class. He won the Jerome, but he's not the same horse he once was. And I don't like playing horses that take a lot of urging, like you showed us there in that most recent race.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just showing you something.
No,
Might
that's
be
good.
a bit of a lazy kind of guy.
It's a good replay to show for sure because, every horse is kind of different, like people, right? Sometimes they take a little while to get going, so whatever.
Sometimes they just don't feel like playing.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so scratch, it says.
Scratch?
Scratch, scratch, scratch. That's what it
We're
says.
going to race number 5, right? Well, that's because the morning line favorite's a scratch, and that's 4 strong wins. This is Stewart scratch, so I don't know if she's scratching to go somewhere else.
Well, there's no entries. It's a rare
I know.
Friday. There's no entries.
See, that's the thing. Like, we don't know. Normally, we do know that they've scratched to go into a different race, but it's hard to say because, reminder, we don't have racing next Thursday, so maybe there's a race for this horse on the Friday card?
Yeah.
I don't know.
4 strong wins was so disappointing last time out that I went back just thinking with the drop down in class that might help out the horse. Now, Red Pharaoh was one that was good to me. Now, I never thought I would ever say this, but the Isaac Leo reference is kind of good all of a sudden.
I know, yeah, because he beat Isaac Leo, who was like, for a Pac-Man, as Jeff likes to call them, loves to finish second, and then he finally got up to win. But they were persistent with him. Like, they didn't drop him in.
No,
they were persistent with him, and they got it done for $25,000. So by virtue of the Stewart scratch of the 2, I think a lot of us have moved on to the 7 in here. I looked at the 5, Magic Power. John Mattini's dropping quite a few horses in. I mentioned that yesterday, but this horse has raced against some good ones, including Regal Guest, Next Pitch, Go-Kart Mozart. I mean, these are some good horses, and now he's offered up for the $25,000 tag.
Back on the Chang gang beat Drogon, who you like a little bit later on in the program.
I don't mind him. He's a bit of a greenie, but we'll see. Yeah.
You got Benny Jets coming off of a win as well.
Nice story on Benny Jets.
Yeah, that is a cool story.
Yeah.
Elderly gentleman, part of the ownership group. Is that correct?
Yeah, 92, I believe.
Named after that gentleman as well.
He must have come out of the race bucking and squealing because they're putting him in for $25,000 a day.
Facing tougher for sure. Now the 6th race. Now we've lost. We've lost a third of the field now because of scratches, unfortunately. So we're down to a field of 4. You've got 2 Cassies, a Deverseau, and a Nathan Squires horse in the spots.
Okay, we've talked about this a lot, so I thought, what the heck? I might as well show you guys this replay on Wagstaff. There are races every year that turn out to be key races. One of them is a Connor race, right? Connor, the Julia Carey horse, that turned out to be a key race, and Jeff and I never thought it would, and it did.
Ever.
But guess who else has turned into a key horse and a key race? It's Wagstaff, and the race from back on July the 13th. Now, we normally don't show you horses winning, but I have to show you this one because there's 3 next out winners in this group. So this was the optional 32A of the then, going a mile and a 16th. It got taken off of the turf. So there would have been a few scratches in here. But what's important about this is that the 2nd place finisher, which is Westside Tide, that's the horse in the purple silks on the rail, the 7. That horse ends up coming back to win on the Sunday program in the optional 50 non-winners of 2 Life. The 3rd place finisher, Journeyman, he's got the green cap, 3 wide there. He ends up winning the optional 50. He was moving up from 32. He won the optional 52 other than. And the 4th place finisher, Mason's Gamble, came back to win as well. So this has turned into a really key race. What's the issue with Wagstaff here today? Well, we talked to Nathan, and just not sure about 7/8.
Yeah.
He definitely is a horse. I mean, we were both laughing with him when he won on June the 12th because we were standing out with Nathan actually watching the race. And he said, I don't know, this horse is just throwing his hands up in the air. So I'm going to try something different and stretch him out on the grass and see what he thinks. And he surprised Nathan to get the win, surprised a lot of people. And then he comes back like a whole new racehorse, maybe like the horse he was meant to be.
The light bulb went off, and guess who was 5th in that replay showed? A horse by the name of Philip My Wine.
Oh, you're kidding.
And Philip My Wine has been now purchased by Gary Barber and partner, and now has been moved over to the Barnum Marcasse and is going to show up in a race coming up on Sunday's program.
And I think he'll be everybody's best bet on Sunday.
No, he looks really good in that spot for sure. Now, obviously, Garden of War is, I would think, the better of the 2 Cassies. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I would agree, and I think that's the one that you need to be worried about if you like Wagstaff here in this spot. The question mark is the distance.
Yeah, and small fields, a lot of tactics are going to go on in that particular event too. They're going for a good chunk of change. It's odd that at this time of the year you get a straight through to race like this.
Yeah, this is a money line allowance too. These don't often go.
120,000.
Yeah, they're preps essentially.
We don't have those anymore. But you're right.
Yeah.
And this is maybe a prep, like you said, for a race like the Toronto Cup.
I think so.
Yeah. So, but remember, you used to have the preps all
the time. And if you won the prep, sometimes you just go to win the prep because you knew the stake was going to come up tough. Like you could win the prep for the Adam Mile, remember? And then you're like, well, that. Anyways, we used to have them all the time. We don't anymore, but thank goodness they got that money line to go.
7th race is a split of race number 1, and is this as simple as the battle between Legal Attack and Napa Spirit, or do you think that Border Town, do you think he's capable of winning going 5/8 on the inside turf course? What's your gut telling you here at race 7?
Yesterday we had Drexler drop one in, right? And it was, hold on, I got to look back here. That was Breezero.
Yeah.
And got claimed. And was a good claim too, I think, by Phil Hall. So it's, the barn's been quiet, and this is what happens. They start dropping horses in to find wins, and Bordertown is on the drop. But he is, getting a little older. He's 9 years old, so this will be his last opportunity to race here at Woodbine this season. I went towards the 6 Legal Attack.
Same.
You know why? Because these numbers are just consistently good. He's run 3 81 Beyer speed figures in a row. He's hooked up with some nice horses. I mean, Bachelor Pad's one of our faves around here. He gets Fraser Abley to ride, and it seems to get along quite well with Fraser. He's had a win with him. He's had some seconds. He's had a few wins, actually, with Fraser. But then the Phil Hall horse is interesting, too. He'll be a speed demon in here, that being Napa Spirit.
So I'm told we have the photo of the year in here with Roberts. Oh my goodness.
Finally, he's got down on the ground.
Wow. Silent Miracle says, Roberts, give me a pet.
Curl up with me.
Wow. And you know what? That's a big horse,
That's
Silent Miracle.
big horse.
Yeah.
That's Silent Miracle?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah,
He's a
there
big
you go.
boy.
He is a big guy.
Boy.
But you know what? There's so many like this that are just really good nappers, and you can basically crawl in and get on top of them. And then there's some who are like, hey man, like the minute you walk in the stall, they get up. They're like, no, don't get that close. I like my nap alone.
Yeah. Just get back to Legal Attack, 2 for 2 going 5/8 on the inside turf course.
I know.
By the way.
Pretty neat little horse.
Napa Spirit
for
likes
Brad.
his course as well. Ford must be on days today, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he's riding today.
No, but somebody who didn't ride yesterday that booked off is Cavea. I didn't hear anything about
He
that.
rode the first, and then he booked off, I think. Yesterday.
Yeah, but he's named and looks like he's good to go for
good
today.
To go. So if you look, we're at 0. Oh, sorry, producer Mike.
Look who talks too much.
Hey, Maiden High 5. Let's get to race number 8 now on the program. 6 furlongs, main optional 25,000 claimer in this spot. And speaking of it, Dragon. That's what is that again from?
Oh gosh! Not
Lord of the Rings.
No. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's
They're
one of
all
the dragons.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Jeez,
No, not really. I mean, I watched all of Game of
watch
Thrones.
that
It was
stuff.
pretty good, but you have to keep notes, like on all the families and
Okay,
it was a hard one.
Did you make notes on this horse?
I did, because you know what? I think the first start, he was just really green. Remember, he was kind of all over the place in the race. And then the next start, and don't forget, he got claimed in the first lifetime start for $15,000. So you had to know something to take a horse in the first lifetime start. They had to be watching this one. But then he came back and they put the blinkers on, which is exactly probably what I would recommend, and I think a lot of other people would recommend after the way that he raced first start. He was just kind of looking all over the place. The blinkers kept him focused, and he ended up with a 3rd place finish, and that was for $25,000. I think he's figuring things out. So I'm going to stick with him over the 8. I know the 8 has some, obviously great connections.
And just fast. He's fast.
Yeah. He's Patches, so Houlihan's half. It's Tiller. Tiller won the last race on the program yesterday. And I think maybe take a look at this inside horse. Not the greatest post position today, but this Apollo Mo Money for Dale DeRusso. First time starter, 3rd full. This is a half to a pretty nice horse who's a 5-time winner. Motown Dynamics, I think, is the horse's name. But if you look at the Dams family, she's just related to nothing but winners.
Yeah.
So there could be something there. Plus, as Jeff likes to say, he gets his safety net with Raffy riding for Dale.
I know they paid us $12,000 for him to sell in January, so
you can go for a quarter.
Yeah,
you can go for a quarter.
Pinboy, I think he's in the right spot. I just think it was too short for him last time out, but the starts are eyeing up, which is a little bit cause for concern. And then you got Hello Jello, a newcomer to us here. When was the last time you had Jello?
Oh, a long time ago.
I only have it like I'm really sick or something.
Yeah, well, I was going to say.
Or Jello shooters.
Jello shots. Not that long ago, but actual Jello.
Yeah, Jello just.
For King's Plate, I'm going to make us some Jello shooters.
Oh gosh. Make sure it's
For
race
after.
15 or something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Don't match with my outfit.
Okay, topic 7 is plays of the day. All right, Ms. Blow.
Oh, I stunk yesterday. I'll be the first one to admit it. PU. They were awful. I apologize.
Well, you're going to go...
Kikitsa today.
Not going to go 0 for 4 today.
Hopefully not. We got
Because you want to
Kikitsa.
use a scratch.
Yay! That's the DePaulo horse, and then it got, Waggy there. He's looking for the three-peat, and Drogon, who I think, like I said, is figuring things out.
Okay, what do I got? My multi-lay single, drum roll, please. Yeah, I like that. I think Mom on 3 might be able to wire them in race number 3.
That's the third.
Yeah, that's the Zelko horse. I don't think there's as much pressure in this race today, but can't keep a rider. It's Slade today, right?
Yes, it is, and many, many different riders. You're right.
I know. Off the bench, I'm with you on Kikitsa. My best bet of the day is going to be Legal Attack coming up in race number 7 of the program.
For your favorite Dunslow.
That's right. Doug's with me when it comes to drum roll, please. Ron says Garden of War. He thinks this one's going to have no problem defeating a horse that we like in Wagstaff, and then to beat the fave is the first-time starter Apollo Mo Money.
Well, that's interesting.
Coming up in race number 8. Speaking of De Rousseau, he's got a first-time starter that took him on Sunday's
I
card.
know. I mean,
Nicely bred.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Sheeswood's got a nicely bred horse right next door.
I know. It's not a really jam-packed card of racing this Saturday and Sunday, but there's a few that we've been watching that we're excited to see.
I think this horse has been a private purchase. Was a vet scratch for $7,500, and now it's been moved over to the Theranos barn. The owners look different to me.
Let me have it.
You know in Stanford, Canada,
Yeah.
they have trackets. You can always tell when there's a change. They don't have that.
Yeah,
for urban
because
racing, so.
I don't remember Bev Chubb training for anybody called Royal Strike.
Yeah, so
Not off the top of my
I think it's a different ownership group.
But Crawford's going to follow the horse
Which
over.
is cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
He'd know the horse.
Yeah. So that one's going to go as our lone clocker horse coming up in race number 7 on the program. Let's take a break. Then we'll talk some works and we'll talk about the wagering profile as well. You want to stretch your legs and go over to the big TV screen?
I say so, yeah. Let's
All right.
stretch out.
We'll do that as well. 30 minutes away from race number 1 here from Woodbine.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Download the Bet365 app, the only sports book available to bet on today's races, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
More than just a race.
One of the great sporting traditions in this country.
It's part of our culture.
A huge crowd this afternoon.
An iconic day about royalty, fashion, and passion.
A magnificent lineup.
A truly magical equine display.
And they're off in the King's Plate.
He's running his eyeballs out.
She's as great as they come.
What a race.
With one to rule the day. Watch the 166th King's Plate, the first leg of the OLG Canadian Triple Crown.
Yes, King's Plate Madness is officially in the air as well. The draw taking place next Tuesday. Here's a look at some of the wagering details for you. We've got all kinds of guarantees along the way. We've got mandatory payouts when it comes to Power Pick 6, the Jackpot High 5. If you are a king or a queen, you can play the Kings and Queens Pick 3 with that low takeout at 15%. It's a $5 base bet. You get the Bet365 King Eddie. He gets the EP Taylor stake. Chad Brown's bringing up an absolute monster for that race. Can't wait to see that one. And then the King's Plate obviously will take place as our final stake race of the day. And somebody will become a part of Canadian racing history.
You know what I can't wait for?
What can't you wait
To
for?
see your photobomb from this year. That run last year, it had legs.
It did have legs. I don't know how I'm going to top that one, though. That was very unintentional, and it just sort of happened. So that's just the way it goes. But again, I'm just so happy that we're able to bring you coverage of some of the workers when it comes to the King's Plate. We took a look at 2 yesterday. We're going to take a look at 2 more here today. One took place yesterday. This is Ashley's Archer, and Ashley's Archer is on the outside. On the inside is Crevel d'Oro, and the horse that we're focusing on is going to work on 48-1. And what you like is what happens right at the end of this work.
Yeah, okay, so it's Cassie Garcia who's up on our horse, Ashley's Archer, and you can see it's going to be a lovely, easy breeze, and I think under a little bit of a hold. Like, she never let this horse go. You can see right here, you know, she's not moving her hands at all, just keeping them right there on the neck. So it looks like an easy breeze. Now, Cassie is no stranger to Woodbine, okay? She was a jock here for a number of years, grew up in a racing family. She's a great breeze rider. Now, watch here when they get to the wire. She never pulls her stick out, but watch right here, and she gets down and scrubs on this horse all of a sudden. So she's getting that extra oomph into this one. This is where the real work starts, right here. Yeah. That's where the real work starts. And so they have a really nice little gallop out from this work. That to me is quite impressive because she was in with Crevel d'Oro, who's no slouch.
That's going to be the longest stick I think I've ever seen. That's a long whip she's got there. And Ashley's Archer, nice move there. A half a mile again in 48-1. So that was yesterday. Today it was the Oaks winner, No Time, who worked with a very good older horse, the name of Lucky Score. And Lucky Score is going to be on the inside. On the outside yet again is Cassie here with No Time.
So Cassie, star of the card, I guess, over at at the Cassie barn, but very similar breeze. You're going to see here, you know, same thing. She doesn't really move a muscle on this horse. It's, again, a nice, easy breeze. Now, when I saw the first breeze from Ashley's Archer, I thought, now will we see the same thing here because the breeze looks so similar? You're thinking to yourself, when they get to the wire, is that when she's gonna, you know, urge this horse to give her a little chirp to keep on going? But this work, I think, is a little more conservative than what we saw from Ashley's Archer, who they really put the finishing touches on. Of course, we know that this girl just ran her heart out in the Oaks, so, you know, I don't think you really want to go guns a-blazing in this workout here. It's just a nice maintenance work for her. At the wire, she does ask her to continue on, but not to the extent that she did with the other horse. You know, she lets her hands out a little bit, gives the horse her head, and lets her have a nice strong gallop out, but not quite the same as what you saw from the other.
The big thing with No Time, and the fact that she won the Oaks doing this, I think is the big thing. She relaxed in the Oaks.
Yeah.
I mean, she was nice for relaxing that work too, which I think
she did look really
that's
relaxed.
the big thing. Like, to me, sometimes if she doesn't settle, then she doesn't necessarily run her race. And Johnny V said that after the Oaks, you know, she was able to kind of shut down briefly in that race, which helped her out.
Yeah, they were both nice works.
So tomorrow we're going to take a look at Scorching. We're going to take a look at William T as well. So we'll have some more workouts for you on tomorrow's edition of Woodbine Racing Live. Now, the Bison City, some of these horses could have gone to the plates, but the thinking is that maybe the distance would get the better of them. Like Shifty, Mark Cassidy is well quoted. He thinks this horse is going to be a miler eventually. And he's got Winterberry, who still might be going a little bit further than what she wants to do now. Winterberry's been very insistent on getting to the front back-to-back races. And Shifty ran well last time out, but just got beat by a horse that was better on that day.
Yeah, and you know, Patrick was right about Winterberry too, saying that she really did handle the Oaks quite well, that she's matured. She didn't pull any of her old stunts that she used to pull, so she is a horse who's getting a lot better. And Shifty, of course, was just the bridesmaid on this day in behind No Time. You just saw the workout from No Time. What did I want to mention about this? Oh yeah, I know it's the Bison City. It's the second jewel of our Canadian Triple Tiara, but it hasn't always been run here at Woodbine. It used to be at Fort Erie, so it was kind of similar to what we do with the Triple Crown, right? So one race at Woodbine, one race at Fort Erie, and then back to Woodbine again. And it used to be the 3 surfaces, right? But things have changed. Now the third jewel is the Wonderwear, and I think tomorrow, right, we're going to see a few horses that might be prepping for that.
Right. Now, Ron, in his article tomorrow too, mentioned something that I didn't think of, and Ron, kudos to bringing this along. Usually that's in a mile and a quarter, but they've had to shorten it this year because it's going to be on the inside turf course.
That's right.
That's right. Not going to be I think it's a mile 16.
Yeah, we lose the EP Taylor after
plate day. Yeah, so get shut down for renovations.
That's going to be a significant loss for us here.
It is. It has to be done though. That's the thing.
Yep.
This suit jacket.
Yeah.
I have to usually wear it on top because it's like the buttons all tight. this was a COVID purchase. I lost a bunch of weight during COVID, and now the bun's going to go.
You're not working on the King's Plate diet like
No.
Yeah.
It's better.
After the King's Plate, I'm just going to eat
You're gonna let
everything. The raccoon's back on the mission.
That
Yeah.
sounds great. I love it. We're 22 minutes away from race number 1 here from Woodbine. When we come back, horse have arrived inside the paddock area for the opener. We'll get set for that next.